Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Little Green Lamb, and obviously you know from the title of this, I have a book review on 10 by Gretchen McNeil. I hope you can see this because yesterday there was quite a glare. But anyway, getting on to it, this is a no spoilers review because I wouldn't spoil a book if I was going to recommend it. And if you're new to my videos or just need a refresher, I rate my books in 5 different categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of reading again very soon. 5 out of 5, not so soon, 1 out of 5. So before we begin, basically this book is based off of, I heard it was based off of Agatha Christie's And Then There Was None. And that book sounded really intriguing, and this one sounded intriguing, but obviously this is more in modern times. And basically these kids, 10 of them, like it said, 10 teens, they get invited to a weekend party at, I forget the last name of the girl's house, but her name's Jessica. So she was having a big party at her house, and best friends, the main character's name's Meg, and her best friend Minnie, they head off to the party. There's TJ, who's one of the school's eligible bachelors, and yeah, they just expect to have some fun days. So I'm just trying to take this off the back cover. I'm not reading it for word, so it sounds kind of weird. Yeah, but basically people start dying, and they have to figure out what's happening without any electricity, phones, anything, and the island is pretty secluded, so you can just imagine how scary it gets. And it says, as the deaths become more violent and the teens turn on one another, can Meg find the killer before more people die, or is the killer closer to her than she ever imagined? So that definitely gave me some clues on who the killer was. I'm really bad at guessing who the killers are whenever I read or watch something like this, so obviously I didn't get it. But we'll move on from that. Anyway, so plot, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. The reason it didn't get the full 5 was because I found the ending, even though it was satisfying, it wasn't as satisfying. I think she could have added 20 more pages and really wrapped it up in a way. I'm not going to say what happened, obviously, but if you've read it, maybe you understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wrote some notes here, but that spoils it, so I don't want to say that. But I found that plot really good. Like, I thought that people were just getting killed off and you don't really hear, but like they linked it together really good. And I really like this one part in the middle with the Taylor's house. You'll know what I'm talking about if you read it. And yeah, so characters, I gave a 5 out of 5. For being killed off pretty suddenly, they were well developed enough that I actually felt like I knew who the character was and maybe like a trait from their personality, instead of, because usually horror movies, well, I don't really watch most horror movies, but even like I hear about them, like the characters aren't as developed because they're just going to get killed off, but I found these characters to be pretty developed, which I actually like because she took time in the beginning to really develop the characters before the first death. Yeah, and I really like the main character, Meg. At the beginning, I was getting Meg and Minnie kind of mixed up because their names being both M's, but after the first chapter you get over that because that kind of discouraged me at the beginning. Cover, I give a 5 out of 5. This really reminds me of a scene in Jaws. Even though I don't think there's any nighttime scenes in the first one. But it just kind of reminded me of that. It's really spooky. And I love the red lettering because that's my favorite color. And it just has a really nice contrast with the black and murky waters. And it actually makes the book look really creepy. Like, I didn't imagine the island looking like that. But, like, well, I don't really know how I was only imagining really the house. I wasn't really imagining the island. But that definitely puts into perspectives, and I really like the tagline, 10 teens, 3 days, 1 killer, because it really just sums up the whole synopsis on the back of what kind of happens. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my agenda, by the way. Suspense, I gave a 5 out of 5. The suspense was really high in this book. Like, I read it basically in 1 day and a bit, and I was wanting to keep reading it, but obviously I don't want to read it before bed, and yeah, it got kind of scary. I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to horror, so like I don't really watch horror films because at least in a book I can like make it stop, like because the words are just in my head. I don't have to picture it as well. But I actually enjoyed this. It did give me quite a little scare though, but I'm kind of over it now. Like once you know who the killer is and stuff like that, it kind of like just waiting to know who it is kind of suspenseful and creepy. Overall, I give it a 5 out of 5. I would definitely read this again soon because I definitely like to go and link the clues back to what happened. Same with a lot of other mystery books and stuff to see if I could have noticed it and how I could have noticed it if I knew what I knew now. And yeah, I'd have to say this was a really good book. I didn't hear the best things about the ending. I heard people were really disappointed and stuff like that, but I wasn't disappointed. Like I was just thought there could be more detail to it, but I thought it was really good. That's why I was scared to pick it up when I saw it in the bookstore. Even though I'd wanted it for like since it came out. I was kind of scared at that point, but I'm glad I finally decided to pick it up because it was a phenomenal book. And yeah, that was my book review on 10 by Gretchen McNeil. If you guys have read this, let me know how you guys thought the ending was, and I will see you guys later.